have really good news for all of us. So can't wait to see what Sophie has in store for us. But in a nutshell, before we dive into the astrology later on, Mercury is going direct this week. Yay! At the end of the week on the 29th. Saturn is also going direct. And there is a lot of positive aspects generally with the planets. So I think there will be a lot of positive shifts and breakthroughs. So let's see. Well, first of all, how do you feel about the week, Sophie?
I think last week was a week of survival with all of the aspects. So I cannot wait to see the energy that is on the other side of that week.
Oh, yeah. And for sure, there's going to be a major change, especially because we have those two planets moving direct. So it means like a lot of the issues we were confronted with are seeing a finality or a breakthrough. So let's see what the cards have to say for the general energies of the week.
Okay, let's see what we have for this week. So we have the control card. We have self-worth. And there's too many cards, so let me just reshuffle for the last oracle card for the week. And we have supernatural. Interesting. Okay, let's see with tarot now what we have. And let's see this one. We have the Empress.
Oh, I love that.
We have the Nine of Wands. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. So let me just tell you again, what we have together is the control with the Empress. So that's a very good card to have with the card of control. I think that this is, it shows up as the good side is regaining the control. Venus is there with the Empress. So this is kind of a planet of love, planet of nurturing, caring. So I think that it's literally showing me like pushing the bad out, pushing the negative energy out, and just saying, hey, I'm running the show now. This is where I want to be. So get out. And we have self-worth repair that needs to happen this week. So we can see here, it has been tough, not going to lie. It has been tough. And now it's about...
This is exactly how I'm feeling right now, like the little, what is it, a hamster?
No, it's not.
Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like the hedgehog.
And we have the supernatural with the Seven of Pentacles. So overall, this is the good side of nurturing and love. It's also financial Venus, right? So I think that we are slowly getting the bad energy out. And just when I say slowly, it's not that we still have negative things per se. It's that we are regaining trust in what is going to happen, and we are regaining some kind of help for some of us, regaining some kind of energy for others, just slowing down on the survival push that we had, just being able to say, okay, it's done. Okay, I don't have to be on edge now. I can relax. I can recharge. I can attend to my wounds. That's basically the energy of the week. And yes, self-worth is right in the middle, but it shows up that our self-worth has been hurt. So the repair is going to be, I need to take care of myself. I need to reclaim my routine. I need to reclaim what I really need, what I really want in all aspects of my life, and repairing just every damage that has been done. That's the keyword of the week, repairing. The supernatural with the Seven of Pentacles, that's very interesting. I think that it talks about how things out of our control were delaying, and that's Mercury retrograde. We're delaying what we wanted to do, what we wanted to achieve, and we're going to start to see a shift in this. We're starting to see, okay, now the only obstacles to get the things that I want done is, am I healed? I'm repairing my damage, and am I also ready to achieve new things? So a very suiting week.
Wow, I had something to say that I thought was intelligent. Let me. Wow, this is interesting because also you had the self-worth card, but also the Venus card, which in astrology, Venus also represents self-worth. So it's like this week of rebuilding and repairing, like as you said, I think this is very much in line with the astrology again. And oh yeah, about the supernatural card and the Seven of Pentacles. I think, like, to me, it says that how it was maybe tough to access our intuition and our inner knowing, especially like you mentioned Mercury being retrograde and it's in Sagittarius, so it's also our connection to our guides, to our higher self, to God, to what we believe in. And when it's retrograde, it's like it's not so easy to get that inner guidance. So I think this is coming back this week, and we have more intuition, we have more access to our inner knowing, and it's going to change from the previous weeks for sure.
Yeah, if I can confirm what you just said here through those cards, there is some hurt with your crown chakra, blockage
Mm.
here. If that shape was a true triangle, that would have been a pure channeling, because triangles are going to be a shape that is attracting, right? But it's not a true triangle. It shows up as falling on the side. So we have the covering of both head, where in this we have the recrowning yourself, reconnection with it. And here, if we look, we have, yes, something covering what we had, the stars leading to source, reconnection to source. So exactly, yes.
And yeah, yesterday I felt exactly like that. I was like, I was trying to plan ahead and I couldn't like plan and access my inner guidance like I usually used to. And I was like super anxious and I was like, this is not me. But like, I think this is like the reconnection is happening now and we're going to feel like ourselves again, which is super nice. And I can't wait to dive into the astrology because it connects very much with that. But just before we do so, Sophie, can you share here what you have for people who would like to book a one-on-one consultation with you?
Yes, so we had a 30 minutes pre-record where you ask me whatever you want in your questions, and I will send you a 30 minutes pre-record with your question being answered with the cards. It's about 2 weeks wait for this, and you have the 1 hour past life reading or the 1 hour tarot reading that is live with me on Zoom, where you get to ask all of your questions as well, and you have 10% coupon code because you watch our show. The coupon code is Jupiter.
Awesome. So the link will be down below if you'd like to book with Sophie. And let's talk about astrology, shall we? So we are here November 24th, and this is the very last week of the month of November already. How time flies, because next week we're going to be already in the month of December, the last month of the year. So November, and I know this is also the American Thanksgiving. So a very happy Thanksgiving to all of our American friends watching us. And I think this is a week to be grateful for. So very in line with the astrology energies. So it starts with a beautiful conjunction here between Mercury retrograde and Venus. And this is beautiful. I put a star there because whenever we have those type of inner planets that conjunct each other, it gives us a lot of clarity. And I think we needed that clarity because we haven't been surrounded with a lot of clarity lately. And even though Mercury at this point is still retrograde, we're going to have a lot more clarity, especially with things regarding the past. And the next conjunction between Mercury and Venus will be at the end of January of 2026. And we'll be very close to that mega event, which is the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries. So by then, it's going to be a whole new world. And now we're still fixing things from this year 9, universal year 9. And also, it kind of tells us what kind of last shifts do we need to make in terms of things that relate to money and relationship, which is Venus. And Venus, and they're both in the sign of Scorpio, which is the sign of digging, of investigating. So it's a really good energy to be doing just that. So investigating, doing a deep dive, searching, especially with things from the past, regarding money and relationships again. So also old relationships can come back, old partnerships, to talk about agreements from the past. You could be reviewing agreements at this time, or you can have communication about money and relationship and or relationship that deal with the past as well. So this is going to be the energy for the beginning of the week. And then on Wednesday, we have a beautiful trine, and shall I say a grand trine, which is super positive. So a grand water trine. That will be exact on the 26th, but really that's lasting all week. So that's why we are having like beams of support from the universe this week. It's between Venus, and you talked a lot about Venus in your reading. So Venus is also very much highlighted in the astrology. So, and that water grand trine is like, yay, a blessing from the universe to support us, to bring back some balance, which is also water healing. And it's helping us to heal traumas from the past, emotions from the past, that process emotions, also healing situations also that were unfair. We still have Jupiter and Saturn that are retrograde in that grand trine. So it's talking a lot about things from the past, but Venus is here to bring back some balance, bring back some love into a situation. So I really love that grand trine. I think it's really the universe saying like, don't despair, this beautiful thing's coming, and helping put back some balance to correct also injustices from the past. Then also in that same kind of train of thoughts, on the next day, on Thursday, we have Saturn going direct at 25-degree Pisces. And this is a major player also in the energies of this year 9. Saturn that was for one last time in 30 years going into the sign of Pisces, which is the sign of endings, of past karma, of the past, of healing. So soon in February of next year, it's going to be leaving for good, this sign. But now it's turning direct. So there is a change in Saturn's movement, which also represents karma. It represents boundaries. It represents justice. So it helps us into having better boundaries, having a better routine. And you talked about that as well in your reading, taking back like control over our lives. And also this idea of like karmic justice is also at play whenever Saturn especially turns direct. And when a planet turns direct, it means that it's also closer to our Earth, and it's very much emphasized in the astrology. So it's like a major player this week. You might hear also from regulations, laws, governments, structures, but it's also helping us to put back some structure, order, justice into our things. And it's helping finishing up the big cleanse of the past that is still happening until February of next year. And lastly, let's talk about Mercury finally moving direct. So that's going to happen on Saturday of this week. Everybody's going to be like, relieved. I'm sure. I don't know how bad or good it was for all of you, but like for most of the people I talked to, it was a strong one. And Mercury is not in a good place in Sagittarius. So and now it finished in Scorpio, but for the most part, it was also in the sign of Sagittarius, which is the sign where it's really weak and it's turning retrograde there. So a lot of people have experienced difficult situation, and also it was being with Mars, impulsivity, conflicts. So now it's moving direct in the sign of Scorpio. But I just want to say, like, we're not completely out of the woods yet in terms of that Mercury retrograde, because it's still kind of opposing Uranus. And we're going to have a second opposition of Mercury and Uranus, which both are related to information, surprising information, revelations, change in plans, surprises. So the second opposition of Mercury and Uranus will be on December 10th. So from now on until beginning of December, we're still kind of in the zone of that opposition that still very much applies. So we can have still like other revelations, new information that comes up about the past. So kind of stay in this energy of like expect the unexpected, especially until mid-December. But now the good news is we're feeling like we can move forward again. Things can move forward again. We can make plans for the coming months. And Mercury and Scorpio, if you really want to align with the energies that we're feeling now, Scorpio is a sign where it loves to dig deep, to uncover information, to investigate, to like focus your energy to something that really matters. And plus on this day, we have a Venus-Uranus opposition. So that's why I was talking about expect the unexpected type of energy. Uranus is still very much emphasized. But good news is end of delays, of communication issues, miscommunication, of a lack of clarity. We're going to get some more clarity back. And now we know what we need to address for the coming period. So I think it's going to be a week full of positive shifts, but also it's giving us the clarity that we need to move forward again with maybe new information that still comes up with that opposition. Awesome. So let's hope you have a fantastic week. And of course, if you'd like to know more about your personal astrology, because all of those transits that we're talking about in these shows are affecting and activating different places of your birth chart. So if you'd like to know more about your own specific astrology, you can order your personalized birth chart here on the website. I'll put the link down below. And basically, it's a digital art print in the color of your choice. That's your unique personal blueprint, so your birth chart. And it also comes with a 15 to 20 pages report explaining your most important alignments and placement so you can start your astrology journey. And don't forget to enter Jupiter to get 10% off your birth chart. And the link again will be down below. Thank you so much, everyone. Do make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Sophie. And we're going to see you tomorrow for the 5D news show at 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a wonderful week and lots of love.